Today, we're diving into a discussion about an interesting perspective on life in China, drawing on 16 years of first hand experience from a Belgian expat who's been through it all.
Yeah, and it's fascinating to see how he navigated misconceptions about China while living there, right?
Absolutely. His experiences really dismantle a lot of myths that the West has about China. He highlights that many preconceived beliefs just don't capture the complexity of daily life.
Right. And one big point is about the misconceptions. People often see China through a filtered lens, either overly positive or too negative.
Exactly. And he explains how Western views might pigeonhole China without understanding its modern evolution.
Yep.
It's like expecting an old relic when modernity is actually thriving.
And speaking of modernity, he gets into why he chose to live there and start a contract manufacturing business. That's a bold step for a Belgian, don't you think?
For sure, it's kind of like choosing between a safe harbor and the deep, rough sea. It takes guts and a lot of insight into the market dynamics.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
points out that China's growth has been dynamic and offers opportunities that might not exist in Europe.
Yeah, and he also digs into the clear differences between life in China and Europe. There's this whole different way of working, you know?
Yes, he talks about how business culture, from hustle to hierarchy, is in a different league over there. It's like playing a different game with its own set of rules. A European mindset sometimes struggles with that fast paced, yet structured approach.
And then there's the conversation about how developed China is. People often underestimate it.
Right. He actually points out that development in China is not just industrial. Urban infrastructure, technology, and even daily
Absolutely.
conveniences are world class. Many assume that development is a one dimensional story, but it's multi layered there.
I find it intriguing that he even touches upon the media portrayal, that contrast between reality on the ground and the headlines we see.
Yeah, that's a strong point. The media often shows one side of the coin, while everyday experiences reveal a lot more
Yep.
nuance. For instance, while Western reports might spotlight political angles, his experience underscores everyday human connections.
And then there's the personal side of things, like his relationship with his Chinese wife. That dimension brings such depth to his perspective.
Exactly. And it's not just a business move, it's a deep personal commitment that bridges cultures. It's kind of elemental in
Right.
understanding social values as well. It reminds us that personal relationships help break down barriers and foster deeper cultural understanding.
Now, I have a slight challenge here. Don't you think that sometimes these personal narratives can get overly romanticized? I mean, they might overshadow some of the harsher realities.
That's a fair point. I mean, his account is very personal, but he does balance it by discussing practical aspects like how to work with Chinese people and navigate business etiquette. So while personal experience is subjective, it still offers valuable insights into cultural interactions.
Right, and speaking of working with Chinese people, he gives some pretty direct advice on what not to do if you're a foreigner there.
Absolutely. Like being overly critical of local customs or, trying to impose different standards can really backfire. It's all about
Yeah.
respecting the local way of doing things and adapting.
And then there's that bit on manufacturing. Whether or not China still holds its crown as the best site for manufacturing.
Yes, he dives into that too. It's not as black and white. While China remains a powerhouse in production, evolving global dynamics are opening cracks in that dominance.
It's like he's saying innovation and adaptability may eventually shift the status quo, right?
Exactly, and he also brings up the debate on whether the world can actually decouple from China economically. It's a complex
Yeah, that's
question
right.
because despite tensions, the integrated supply chains and market size make it almost indispensable.
Right. And his long term stay gives him a unique viewpoint. He's not a tourist, but someone who's lived the daily realities of these economic structures.
And that's what sets his narrative apart. It's not a snapshot, but a full length documentary of life in China over more
Yep.
than a decade. His insights are rooted in sustained experience, which shows both the promises and the pitfalls.
And then he wraps up with some lessons that China has taught him personally. I found that really compelling.
Definitely. He talks about adaptability, resilience, and embracing change. It's like a masterclass in living in a constantly evolving society.
Right.
It's inspiring because it shows how integration into a foreign culture teaches you things you'd never learn otherwise.
You know, it's also interesting how his account provides a counterbalance to the often one sided narrative in the media.
Right, and that's key, providing a balanced, honest view. For instance, while sensational headlines may stress conflict, his narrative is rich with the subtleties of daily interactions, be they in business or in personal life. It really bridges the
Absolutely.
gap between abstraction and lived reality.
And it also serves as a reminder for anyone looking to venture abroad, whether for business or personal growth, to do their homework and be open to the deep cultural learning that happens over time.
Exactly. It's like a roadmap, in a way, cautioning you about what not to do and urging you to embrace the differences, which can be as refreshing as they are
Yeah, indeed.
challenging. It's an honest testament to how a long term stay can reshape your worldview and career.
One final thought. Do you think his perspective might have changed if, say, he had only been there for a couple of years instead of 16?
Oh, absolutely. It's like reading a novel versus a short story. Short term impressions can capture the surface, but the depth comes with time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, his 16-year journey offers layers of insight that only prolonged exposure can reveal.
And it's not just about work or culture. It's about evolving as a person when you've lived through different chapters of a country's history up close.
Exactly. And that evolution, whether in business practices or personal relationships, provides an indispensable narrative on change, resilience, and the beauty of embracing diversity.
Yep.
It's a conversation that not only informs, but also inspires those considering a cross cultural leap.
Well, I think we got a solid peek into that honest view of China after such a long period.
For sure, it's a powerful reminder that life in another culture is full of surprises, challenges, and ultimately rewarding lessons that reshape you.
Absolutely. This conversation definitely sheds light on the importance of living through experiences rather than just watching from afar.
And that, in a nutshell, is what makes such accounts so compelling. They encourage us to look beyond the headlines and really understand the nuances of a
Yeah,
culture.
indeed. Well, thanks for this lively chat. It's always great to unpack these rich narratives together.
Thanks, and here's to more conversations that bridge cultures and underscore the beauty of honest lived experience.
Absolutely.